Uh-oh. Perhaps that's what you're thinking because you see yourself right now. It's a good shirt, though. Well, yes, if I ever make it to the Jacksonville, Florida area, I'll definitely tell you. But no plans as of yet. So, gotta talk about picking, because the same issue is still here. Now, it is a fair argument for anyone to make that picking it just constantly down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up is a fine thing to do as long as it sounds the way you want it to sound. However, one goal that you and I are working on is to have pick control. Constant pick control, to be aware of what's happening so you can maximize everything you do. If the goal was to play it down, up, down, up, down, up, that would mean we can't do down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So, yeah, picking control, that's the issue here. Now, it looks like when the lack of pick control started, you actually played the piece correctly, then tried to do it again and picked it incorrectly. So let me rewind a little bit, and we're going to take a look here, see if you can catch it. I need to turn this up. All that is good. All that is good. That was good. And now here is where you play it again and see if you can catch the picking that goes wrong. Right there. See, there's so much just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, instead of down, up, down, up, down, and so on. Let's go back, see if you can catch it. And see, right now, where you're looking in the camera, you're looking off to the distance or whatever, you need to be looking at your hand. You need to watch what that hand is doing. Yeah, anytime we have an issue like this, whether it's the right hand or the left hand, whichever one is causing the issue, you literally need to watch what the hand is doing. You have a much better chance of catching mistakes like this. Yeah, I think from this point on, it's just consistently incorrect for the picking. So again, one could absolutely argue that because it's rhythmically fine and the notes sound the way we want them to sound, fair game. But the pick control, that's the issue. So because of that, let me turn this off. Close that. We're not doing this yet. This is what I want you to work on this week. 115 is what I have this set at. Here we go. Basically, what I want you to be able to do is play this whole thing at 115, no faster than 115. I want you to get very familiar with those notes on the left hand, so you don't have to look at the left hand. You watch the right hand the entire time. So kept everything in the key of E minor, key G. So knowing the scales up and down all over the place will make this much easier. It's a good thing we did all that work. So it's really just taking that pattern you did and just moving it down and up the fretboard, just one note at a time, you know, starting on the E, down to the D, down to the C, so on. So yeah, this is number 2, but I'm going to go over this first anyway, because we started looking at the video. And you do not have to start at 115. I mean, you definitely got to get familiar with it. So play it slow enough so you can play, how do I want to say this? Let's put it this way, like, break it down into small pieces to help you memorize what it is. I think memorizing this would be very helpful, so this way, again, you can really just watch that right hand the entire time. So as far as like working it up, you can definitely do that. I would work up pieces, though, not the entire thing going 60, 65, 70, 75. At least not every day, because that's a lot of bars. I think it's too many bars to work up in increments of 5. It would take a long time and high room for error. So learn pieces at a time, maybe like 4 bars at a time, or you could do this, learn the one string at a time, because we play on the A string and then we go up to the D string. We resolve back to the A string though. So you can break it in half, work up each thing in half. I don't want you to go past 115, because I tapped the metronome, like the tap metronome feature, tap tempo feature on the metronome. Did that following along with you, and I think the 120 is where you both got it correct for the last time and also started the incorrect picking. So 115 I feel is a good safe zone, because it's close to where the breakdown happens, but you still can have control of it. And we need to make sure that we have control the whole time in order to get a handle on this, get control over this picking pattern. So I'll play this at 2 different speeds. I'll play it at 60 and then 115. And let's see. Some volume here. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goal speed of 115. 1, 2, 3, 4. or next week, if you start feeling really confident with this, feels solid, maybe starts to feel easy, instead of increasing the speed, double it, the amount you're playing. In other words, play like this. Repeat the thing. Add in a repetition. That's the thing to do if, and only if, you feel very confident you are picking and playing everything 100% perfect and it starts to feel easy. Then you can add in repetitions. Alright, so yes, the little scale deal, that went very well. So here is the next idea. I thought I had this fixed. There. Alright, so this last one we're going to do based off the major scale thing. So now we're numbering, so we're taking the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 pattern, or the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 idea. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now we're going 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, done. Here we go, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. $120. 1, 2, 3, 4. $180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Theory stuff. So yeah, all the chords look good. What you got? Yes, you got the sus flat 2 corrected. Let's see, I'm gonna get rid of that. Save. Alright, this guy. Let's do this. Alright, as we have done in the past, going to take the new chord stuff, put them in progressions. Got a bit of scale stuff at the end as well. Now, some of these chords can be too much of a stretch for some people. For example, your E suspended flat second starting on the A string. A lot of people have a very difficult time with that. In fact, I've had a few students who just can't play it at all. They just cannot play it there. They can do it over here, but they just cannot do it over here. So, let's say one of these things you do come across the E sus flat 2 that begins on the A string, and you're unable to play it. Well, what you can do, we're going to basically do a combination of holding the chords to arpeggiate them and lifting the fingers when you cannot hold the chords. For example, let's say we're going for a C sus 2 into an E sus flat 2. So if you can't hold the E sus flat 2, you can do something like this. So just kind of hold what you can. So like I can hit the pinky there and then maybe hold those two notes down and then get that last note. Let's see, another example, like maybe the F sus sharp 4 is a pain in the butt. So maybe you're hitting your C sus 4 and you can hold that fine. But then the F sus sharp 4 is just an absolute nightmare for you, so maybe you'll just go, hit hold those two, release to hit the top note, and then come back down and hold it that way. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. So, got 2 examples already done to show you what you're going to be doing. The goal is to be able to play the whole thing, or each progression, just correctly one time through. That's fine. So, let's demo what's here just to make sure you understand it. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's basically the idea there. If you need to do it slower, that's fine. If it's too much of a pain in the butt switching these chords, you can always change every quarter note at the end here to a half note to give yourself a little extra time. I'm not concerned about the speed, I just want you to have some practice using the new stuff. So, we had the suspended seconds to begin with, then we did suspended 4s, then we finished with the triad, and then this scale here. And we basically, you've practiced this idea. So it's doing the whole, taking the notes, going like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up the scale shape, and going 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. So next one is already done as well. Same idea, just play through that, get it correct at least once, or just once, so you're not spending too much time on these things. And then what you're going to do is what we have done before. You fill out the chord progressions, label everything, so the Roman numerals are in place to tell you what chords you're going to put in. So put in the chord, add the chord name as well. The string you begin with is at the end of the progression. So this next one will start on the D string. So that means the root note of the first chord begins on the D string. That does not mean you have to start everything on the D string. Just like we did with other chords and arpeggios before, your goal is to go from one chord to the next in the shortest distance possible. Now, one last little thing. sus2s, then sus4s, then the triad. But where you begin all your sus2s, that is where you will begin all your sus4s. So you're not rethinking the entire thing all over again. So let's say, okay, so we're starting this on the D string, then maybe you go to the A string, E string, back to the A string. Again, this is just for an example. I'm not saying that's what it will be. In fact, it won't. But, so you start on the D string, and let's just say you end up going to the A string, then the E string, back to the A string. Well, that's how you do the next one. You would start the same spot. Start at the same spot on the D string, then the A string, E string, A string. So how your root notes are laid out for the sus2 bars, that's how your sus4s will be laid out. Start in the exact same spot. Exact same spot. No difference. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And then your triad chord will also begin where the first one was. So this chord will be on the D string for the root note. The next down here on that line, D string for the root note, and the triad chord, D string for the root note, and D string for the root note of the way you're going to play the scale. So hopefully that's not too much info thrown at you there in the video. Hopefully all that makes sense, but of course if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, I think that about covers it. Alright, I will see you in your next video.